Shandy. Welcome back to another Dear Shandy Bachelor Recap Fashion Police episode, listeners.
Nicely
hello,
done.
Andy.
Hello.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I gotta say before we get started, I found the fashion in this episode underwhelming. I just want to get that out of the way.
I agree. Overall, I agree.
Yeah, every single one of my winners, there's like a caveat attached to it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone knocked it out of the park, but we still have our picks.
Sure.
Okay, let's get going. Okay, so I have 3 honorable mentions and no runners up and 1 best dressed.
Wow. I was not given this memo. It's too much. It took too much.
I feel like it probably is making a statement when I give people honorable mention, but not runner up. But these 3 looks, I'm just like, it deserves a nod, but I'm not like, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so first honorable mention is Serene with her athletic set on the group date, the night group date in Croatia. I just like the color. I thought it was different. It's like banana yellow, top and bottom. And then she wore a little black jacket on top. I gave props because I never would have picked out this color on the rack.
Okay.
And it looked so good on her. So just a shout out to this athletic set. Okay, next up is Sarah with her rose ceremony dress. She wore a dark olive / forest green strapless gown with interesting ruching happening at the bust. A high slit and hanging crystals at the peak of the slit. Her hair was down. And while I think Sarah has gorgeous hair, had this been up, this would have looked really good. The dress feels expensive to me, and that's always something I look for. It's like, does it look cheap or does it look expensive? Even if it's not expensive, I'm not saying something has to be expensive to be nice, but even if it's cheap, you want it to look rich.
Yep.
And this dress had that feeling, especially at the bust. It didn't feel like it was just a bandeau. It felt like it had structure and the ruching was all intentional. The reason it's not best dressed is A, because of her hair, and B, Hunter already wore this dress previously. I just wasn't able to get a good look at it before. I was already spying this dress. Sure. So this is in part Hunter's award. So I'm just putting that out there.
This was news for me. I didn't realize that the girls shared dresses.
They often do.
I didn't know that.
I lent out things and I borrowed things. Like, I actually think it's really cute. It really shows friendship.
Well, it shows that, it shows that you're willing to, you're not competitive.
Yeah.
You're just like, you know what? You're going to look really good in this dress. But, I still feel like we're friends and I still am going to win. And I destroy you.
The reason why I think it's probably Hunter's dress and not Sarah's dress is because usually the person wears their dress first, sort of like last week Gabby wore a dress Eliza had worn in episode 2. I feel like it's more likely that that's Eliza's dress than Gabby giving it to Eliza to wear before she even wore it. But I could be totally wrong about that. I think it's even more heartwarming if they let someone else wear a dress before they wear it.
It's very sweet.
It is.
Yeah.
Either way, it's sweet.
Warms the cockles of my heart.
And then my final honorable mention here is Mara. I know this is shocking. The group date. Don't worry. It's a group date. She was wearing a white ruched off the shoulder mini dress. I'm going to start with the things I didn't like because there was plenty I didn't like. I know it's shocking. This is on my honorable mention list. I generally am a little ruching averse. I don't like it when you see ruching come to a seam. Like, I want it to feel like it's wrapping around your body. This came to a screeching halt on her sides and on down the ass crack in the back. But I still really liked the effect of it looking kind of like bridal, but with a twist. Like, it looked like normally you would see this off the shoulder, ruched, sort of white sheer. It looked kind of like gauzy. Normally you would see that on a wedding gown, and I have just never seen it in this modern way before as like a mini, and I just thought it looked really cool. But I did have a lot of issues with this. I didn't like the ruching, like I said. I think had it been a knee length, it would have been a little more elegant, but I was okay with this. I didn't like that it was 2-piece. I think it would have been more elegant, like I said, as 1-piece. But I do like that she wore it with a black leather jacket. So I like the hard soft dichotomy here. I love how you're like so confused. You're like, do you like this or not?
Yeah. This is the most backhanded fashion compliment I've ever heard. I hated everything about this dress, but it did cover her parts. That was good. It's always important.
Basically, there are many things I want this dress to be that it didn't quite hit, but it was still the closest I've seen. Okay. I will now be on the hunt for a sort of, like I said, gauzy, mesh, ruched, off-the-shoulder white dress. I think it's really beautiful.
I honestly am about to have an aneurysm. Let's move on.
Also, finally, I do wish her hair had been up, but we'll move on.
Okay.
Andy, who was your best dressed?
My best dress was Susie.
Okay, Susie. So at the rose ceremony, she was wearing a very pale blush dress. It was kind of somewhere between a maxi and midi length dress with spaghetti straps, and she had her hair straight and metallic heeled sandals. Can you tell us what you liked about this?
Classy look.
Okay.
Nothing else. Just a classy, streamlined, no nonsense, subdued yet powerful look. And the one criticism I have, and you've rubbed off on me,
hair?
I would have liked to see her hair up. And I rarely say that. I like, I'm a very basic guy. I like a good hair down.
So that's interesting you say that, because I actually thought one of the reasons you love this look so much was because her hair was straight. Like there was a real differentness to her hair being so different. She looks gorgeous no matter what. But it's funny to me that you say you wish her hair had been up, because I thought part of the star of this outfit was her hair.
I'm totally talking shit. I actually, I was just saying that because I thought it might be right. I'm ashamed.
Andy, there's no right or wrong. It's just your opinion.
No. I'm gonna take I feel like a fraud. I liked her hair down. I liked it straight.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I did like it straight.
That's
down.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's about just what you like.
I liked it.
Okay. People don't want you to say what you think they want you to say.
I feel ashamed. I've never done that before. I want to make it clear. I've never done that until now. I just were like, you know what? I think her hair is supposed to be up, but I didn't necessarily like it without her hair up.
Okay. Okay, so my only beef with this, the reason why Susie's look is not on my list, has nothing to do with her hair. I thought her hair looked gorgeous, and sure, might it have looked a little more formal with that dress, whatever. I didn't like the length of this dress. I felt it was both too short and too long. It was a problem for me. Yeah. I also found the seams and the bust were a little like odd, but Susie's just so stunning. Like she can do no wrong, really. She looked beautiful, but it wasn't my favorite.
Okay, fine. We'll agree to disagree.
I feel like you just thought she looked really pretty, so you're like, favorite.
I have a hard time sometimes differentiating.
I think that's cute and it's honest. That's what matters.
Was it a bad dress? Did you think she looked bad?
No.
Was it a poor fashion choice?
No.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on.
Victory.
Okay, so finally, my best dressed was at the rose ceremony, Genevieve. She wore a black gown. It was full length with long sleeves, and there was a puff in the shoulder, a square neckline, and then she had like a split V down the front here, a high slit, and simple black heeled sandals. Crystal drop earrings, and her hair was down. And like I said, I didn't love a lot this week, so take this with a grain of salt, but this was by far my favorite look of the week. This dress was just like a play on a black gown. I've never seen anything quite like it. Usually this is kind of like Reformation-y, like you would see Reformation would have this, but it would be a mini. To see it as a full gown, it was just really a twist on a black dress. I thought she looked beautiful. I do wish her hair had been up.
Yeah.
Had her hair been up with this dress, that neckline would have been like, poof.
Yeah, even I noticed that. Yeah, hair up.
Okay, Andy, worst dressed?
Mara.
Okay, so Mara was wearing a two-piece gown with a crop top, nude mesh up top, tons of embellishments along the top here, and then some along the waist of the skirt. And it was a real like cobalt blue. Andy, you said it's like an elderly Disney character dress, not the dress.
Yeah, just the dress.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a costume.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, this was also my worst dressed. Are you proud of yourself?
I'm overwhelmed.
I really don't tell Andy this stuff beforehand, so he's finding this out.
I'm very excited.
I find it so sweet how excited you get when I agree with you.
I mean, I am so bad at this that when I get it
great.
right, it's
People
so
love
satisfying.
hearing from you. Now they love your take more than mine. You should just be confident.
Yeah. Okay. Confident.
So the one thing I didn't totally mind was the shade of blue, but I'm really just trying to reach for things I liked, because would I have picked out a gown in this color? Honestly, no, but it wasn't a terrible color. We're going to get that out of the way. But I agree. This felt like a costume and like kind of like a figure skater detail happening up top / prom. Like it reminded me of something you would buy like in the sales section of like a prom dress website. That sounded really harsh. Yeah. It also didn't fit well. And I'm a big believer that a lot of things can be saved by a really good fit. And the top just looked like it was too big for her, or too big on her, or just... It just looked kind of like it overwhelmed her. It was a classic case of a dress wearing a person and her not wearing the dress.
Oh, I like that. Nice.
And by the way, it's not the first time Mara has worn something like this, but back then there were more people and more crimes being committed. So she was
diluted.
Yes, exactly. But now there are fewer ladies and fewer mistakes being made. And this really stood out.
Yeah, Mara had a rough week in general. Well,
the white dress wasn't bad.
No, I mean just in general.
That's true. I'm thinking fashion. We want to know what you thought. So let us know in the comments below. And I think that's a wrap then, Andy.
That sure is.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll see you next time on the Dear Shandy Fashion Police. Bye. Dear Shandy.